All right, so how should you get started with email automations? Maybe you've heard about them, maybe you're getting started with your e-commerce store, or maybe your store exists and you're like, oh man, I don't have these flows or automated emails that I hear all about, right? With most people, of course, you've heard about an abandoned cart email at least, and you're thinking or you're hearing people talk about, these automations and how can I get that in place? So that's what I want to talk about today. Some very simple ways to get started and some things to avoid too, some common traps that come across. So real quick, I'm Adam with Oasis Optimization. If you'd like help with your email marketing, with your automation, with your campaigns, with the writing, A to Z, anything to do with e-commerce email marketing, you can reach out to me at oasisoptimization.com. Now, the one thing that I see when people come to me, a lot of times they're wondering, I've got to have this email automation that does all this complex stuff. Let's say I've got a store and it needs to have, I saw someone who's got like 8 emails and there's all these branching points and something like this going on. And that's totally fine. That can bring you some great results. But as a starting point and getting started with automated emails, I generally tell people, especially if they're doing it themselves, to stay away from this, right? That like anything, you want to walk before you run and get some confidence going before you turn something on and maybe something does go wrong. But more than just, worrying or saying, hey, something could go wrong, it's just that people have a hard time overcoming that obstacle. And I totally understand. I was there when I was setting up my first store and seeing, what everyone else was doing who was many steps ahead of me, that they had these really complicated flows. And I looked into these programs and trainings and they had all this great ideas. But a lot of times it's just get something implemented and learn from that. And you want it to be good, of course. You want it to perform well. You want it to be something you're proud of sending. But just remember, start simple and you can always add on to that. So in this example, what I would say is if this is maybe your more complicated abandoned cart sequence, hey, just start with what they give you. Maybe if you're using Klaviyo, I know that they give you a nice example. I think it's just 1 email. It might be 2 now. But go ahead and just fill that out. Customize it. Take the time to learn how to do that, right? Or if you have someone on your team, have them do that. Or if you're working with somebody else, whoever it may be. But just get that implemented and see what those results are. That gives you a baseline, gives you the confidence that it's working, as well as getting some feedback. So once you have that in place, then you can add all that stuff that I erased, right? Maybe base things off of actions people take or what they have or haven't done. But again, going back to it, start simple and get it implemented so that you can start seeing some results. It gives you the confidence that this is working. Or if you do see that something isn't working, at least you didn't invest all that time and effort building out some complex thing that just won't work. All right, so that is definitely how I recommend you get started with automations and emails, especially for your e-commerce store. If you have questions about this or anything else with your email marketing, just go over to Oasis Optimization, get in touch. We can hop on a call. And hopefully that answers your questions about this. If you do have questions specific to this, you can leave a comment on the video or just get in touch with me via the website. Have a good one.